I got an awesome Christmas present last year. If you've seen my previous videos, maybe you can tell what it is. It's P3. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. So yeah, my P3 came in just before the holidays and I've been able to spend some good time on it. Figured it'd be a good opportunity for me to make a video for everyone and give an overview of the system features and share my thoughts on them. I'm excited to cover this with you, so let's get started. So, what is P3? Imagine having to buy a whole new computer for each new PC game that you wish to play, and this computer was only capable of running that one title. That sounds ridiculous, but as most of you know, that's the reality of physical pinball games. Multimorphic has stepped in to provide a solution. Simply put, the P3 is a physical pinball machine that lets you easily swap the playfield out so you can experience many different games on just one cabinet. The cost of a new game is a fraction of the cost of the other games from other manufacturers, and even a smaller fraction of the size. On top of that, each game has first and third party downloadable content to freshen the software experience for even more of a fraction of a cost. I'll cover more on the DLC a bit later. So the P3 has some pretty cool qualities that set itself apart from the other pinball machines out there. Let's take a look at the characteristics of this machine and the unique features that come along with it. Let's start with the cabinet. The P3 is about 335 pounds, give or take depending upon the installed module. This could be par for the course for Jersey Jack machine owners, but Stern cabinets typically weigh about 250 pounds. So if you purchase one of these, be sure you have an extra pair of hands moving it into your house and setting it up. The dimensions are pretty standard, maybe a little different from some machines, but nothing making it stick out like a sore thumb in a lineup. Now, let's talk about the P3's primary strengths and how it stands out from the competition. The P3 supports a fantastic modular design in both its hardware and its software solutions. You'll see supporting evidence of this throughout this whole video. The cabinet side art uses a magnetic solution to adhere to the cabinet. This is cool because you can easily change the art based on the game you have installed, or if you want to rotate a fresh change in decor. The apron is also magnetic based, so it can do the same. The meat of a P3 game is the game kit module, which fits in the back third of the cabinet. There's also modules for the middle third and the front third of the cabinet that can be swapped out. This design gives each new game the choice to either reuse a common existing module to cater to player familiarity, or to have a completely new design to them. One of the most prominent features of the P3 is the monitor-based solution for the mid to bottom portion of the playfield. It sits just below the front two modules that slide on top of it. This display is used to draw the playfield with software art instead of paint and inserts like the other pinball cabinets. Because the playfield art is truly software-based, the playfield can change depending on the state of the game. It gives the developer the ability to communicate to the player what's going on with dynamic, animated capable callouts. Because of this, your eyes never have to leave the playing field. As a matter of fact, one of the main goals Multimorphic aims to achieve when creating the playfield experience is having the player never needing to look away from the playfield. This is harder to achieve with traditional wooden playfields. Because of this, some people have called the P3 half virtual, half physical machine. I feel this claim is not entirely correct and actually misrepresents the P3. Virtual Pinball is a software-based solution that simulates the experience of physical components. The only virtual simulation of physical components happening on the P3 is the rendering of the playfield. But it's flat, just like nearly every other cabinet on the market, so no physical pieces are lacking or being replaced by virtual simulation. Bottom line, the P3 is a fully physical pinball machine with a screen as a playfield that can supplement your 100% physically capable pinball experience. The LCD playing field is protected by a layer of polycarbonate material that is fully capable of being replaced if needed. I've noticed this material causes the ball to have different spinning behavior versus when it's on a polished wooden playfield. I wouldn't call it better or worse, just that it was a noticeable difference for me when I haven't had a lot of time spent on the P3. I got used to it pretty quickly and then it wasn't a problem for me anymore. The P3 can track the ball when it's on top of the monitor playfield. A lot of games have used this tracking to place a trailing effect on your ball as it rolls across the field. I've also seen tracking used to pick things up as you roll over them. I am excited to see what new features future titles come up with to use the ball tracking technology. Another cool feature of the P3 system is being able to customize physical difficulty. Both outlanes can either be left wide open, completely closed off, or some perfect spot in between. You can also add a stopper which mitigates straight down the middle ball drains. Both adjustments are excellent for catering to different skill levels or even for yourself if you just want to have a longer lasting game. Don't feel guilty, it's your machine. Close some lanes off and have some fun. I've done it. The P3 has a unique feature between the monitor display and the game kit module that consists of a row of 6 walls and scoops. Each of these can be raised and lowered independently. The games can use these to either block or consume the ball. If consumed, the ball will enter a subway system, and the game can decide to either keep or return the ball to play. I really like this feature because at any given time, the physical playfield can change to accommodate for a feature. Check out this footage of Heist showing the scoops pop up along the cop car as it cruises across the playfield. Running into it causes your character to get arrested as if you ran into the cops. Well, that's super cool. The P3 has 3 buttons on each side of the cabinet. Games can use these however they like. In Heist, the bottom flippers are controlled with the red buttons and the top flipper by the white buttons. The front of the cabinet sports your typical start button as seen on most other pinball cabinets. The P3 has a button-based launcher instead of a spring-based one. I like the feel of a spring-based launcher more, but having it as a button allows each game to have the ball enter the playfield in a more natural way to the theme. One of the cooler features of the P3 is the ability to communicate to other P3 machines over the internet. This allows developers to enable competitive or cooperative online play. Cosmic Kart Racing takes advantage of this feature and allows you to play head-to-head either locally or across the globe. I haven't seen or played Cosmic Kart Racing, but the footage of it looks like a blast. Everything mentioned so far is a characteristic of the base P3 build. There are some optional features that come at an additional cost. There may be more by the time you're watching this, but I'll cover the ones that I was presented with in my purchase. The speaker light package gives you 61 addressable RGB LEDs that can be used in coordination with gameplay to add immersion. Weird Al was the first to take advantage of the coordinated speaker lighting, and there are plans for the other titles to gain support over time. The coin mech is another optional feature if you want to be able to accept coins for play. I decided to get this just so I had a wider buyer pool if I ever decided to sell. Multimorphic offers side art protectors that fit on top of the magnetic side art panels. This option is great if you want to protect your side art from the kiddos or from the general public. Another selling point for me is the fact that Multimorphic has a software development kit for developers to make third-party games on their system. Their games are built with Unity, which is the industry standard game engine and very affordable. The cool thing is that developers can use any physical game kit module to make a game, or even create their own module if they like. I'm a software engineer and I definitely plan on getting my hands dirty at some point. These allow the general public to easily make DLC for the game kit of their choice. Multimorphic even has a marketplace set up to help advertise and sell your games through. The P3 has a pretty good collection of games at this point. As of the time of this video, they have a total of 21 games. 8 of these are physical modules, and others are software kits that integrate with these modules. Their latest title, The Princess Bride, was just announced. I was super excited to see this title was on a P3 because I don't need another machine in my house to own it. If you're curious to watch some gameplay footage of P3 games and Princess Bride, I highly suggest that you check out Buffalo Pinball's YouTube channel. See the link in the description box. Kevin does an awesome job showing off gameplay and answering questions that come in as he plays live on Twitch. Really cool guy, really cool content. As mentioned, I'm a new P3 owner and have not yet been through any customer service experiences personally. One thing I did worry about though is what if I have a fundamental system issue that prevents me from playing any of my games? How long will it take to fix, and will they even spend the time and money to get it fixed? Jerry Stahlenberg is the founder and CEO at Multimorphic. I met up with Jerry in person before buying the P3 and had asked him this very same question. He responded favorably and ensured that his team would work with me to find and fix the issues. Worst case, I could take out that problematic piece and send it to Multimorphic, and either a fix or a replacement would be sent back. After this conversation, I walked away with more confidence that Multimorphic had my back in case of an issue. I recently received another positive sign of Multimorphic's dedication to customer support. Jerry sent out an email to all registered P3 owners this February in 2024, and it was so mind-blowingly awesome that I want to share it with y'all. It's a long email, but I'm going to make it brief and I'm going to only cover certain specific topics. If you have any interest in buying a P3, I think it's very important for you to hear this, but feel free to skip to the next chapter if you're not interested. Jerry starts this email with Multimorphic being focused on customer service and product quality. He goes on to mention that they recently completed a full quality review and are currently working through improvements, as well as a plan to get everybody updated versions of all the parts that didn't meet the acceptable standards. He goes on to list some examples. The ATX power supply is being updated to a highly rated gold certified one. All P3 owners will receive an update for free. Welded flipper and slingshot pivot brackets had inconsistent quality, many lasting beyond 1 million activations, but some failing after a few thousand. The issue for the failures was found and corrected by the supplier. All P3 owners will receive replacement lower playfields for free. The first version of some small circuit boards can fail due to vibration. The issue was found and fixed. All P3 owners will receive updated boards free of charge. Some 3D printed parts are being replaced by aluminum or injection molded parts. All P3 owners will receive a number of these updated parts for free. Now, Jerry states that there is no need to email about eligibility, as every owner of a registered P3 is eligible. To feel free to hold on to these as replacements or spares if needed. Wow! Multimorphic is not taking the approach of waiting for you to report the issue and then maybe sending a replacement if you have convinced them it was a qualified failure. They are being proactive and sending the parts so customers can either replace them now or just to have them on hand in case they run into the issue. I'm not insinuating that other pinball manufacturers are not as diligent. I have no experience or proof to even state that as a claim. I am highlighting that Multimorphic is doing things right. Some of you may think, wow, that's a lot of issues, but many pinball table components have chances of failure and could likely be improved on. Jerry even explains that their overall issue report rate per game is on par with other pinball manufacturers, and that most people will never need to replace many of these items. What is important here is that Multimorphic is being public and proactive in their plans to take care of their customers. I'm not going to slap a number rating on the P3. My intent was to give you a rundown of the system and share my thoughts on it, and then let you make your own decision. Well, here's some more of my thoughts. The P3 is a bit pricey to get your foot in the door. That is, when compared to a Stern Pro, but it is cheaper than Jersey Jack games. Once you make that initial purchase, it becomes nice paying a reduced price for newer titles, and you won't have to worry about finding another 3x5 foot space in your home to put it in. Hearing about Princess Bride being on the P3 was the first time I felt excitement to reap the benefits of buying in, so that experience to me was a big plus. I love the modularity of the P3. As updates and new modules come in, you'll be able to get these and slot them in much easier than you would be able to on other tables. Sending your module parts for repair is also a big plus. I'm a huge fan of opening up software for fans creating stuff with. Really cool creations can come of it. The P3 has done this, and as a result, there are some neat indie titles out here to pick up and enjoy. The P3 is growing in popularity, and the library of third-party titles is just going to grow from here. I also can't wait to make some of my own. Now that I've bought into the product, here are some things I'd like to see from Multimorphic in the future. The P3 seems to be doing fine with plans for new games, modules, and updates for the foreseeable future. However, if Multimorphic continues to have success, which I hope they do, the P3 will eventually have a successor. Let's call it the P4 right now for simplicity. It would be nice if Multimorphic had a plan for P3 users to migrate to that P4 system. Some ideas: have P4 parts built to be a compatible upgrade within the P3 cabinet, similar to how you can upgrade your PC by installing a better graphics card, memory, or even motherboard. This might be a pie-in-the-sky ask, but alternatively, have a trade-in program in place for P3 owners to trade in their machine for credit towards a P4 purchase. Another idea is have a P4 be backwards compatible with P3 game kit modules and game software. It'd be nice not to have two of these machines if we don't want it, and it would also be nice to not have to let go of the older modules just because I wanted to buy into the newer system. It would also be nice to see more high-quality kits that either reimagine or extend the theme that physical modules provide. For example, Lexi Lightspeed's Secret Agent Showdown extends the theme of the Lexi Lightspeed module and world. I'd like to see more of this, and I'd like to see other modules have that same treatment. Perhaps this will pick up naturally as the P3 user base grows. I'd love to see more physical modules made for the bottom 2/3 of the machine. I feel like you can get pretty creative there. I think the challenge though is that there would be more physical components to swap when changing games. Maybe these would be optional swaps. Hopefully you now have a better understanding of the P3 and what it has to offer. It definitely is a fresh and new experience in the world of pinball. Multimorphic has pushed innovation and is poised to continue to do so. I could talk all day about why I like it, but I highly suggest trying the P3 out yourself at a pinball show. The Multimorphic staff are approachable and can surely answer any questions you have. If you'd like to see more P3 insights, Kevin from Buffalo Pinball had made a great video overviewing the P3 using footage from his own machine. Head over there after this video if you'd like to see more. Well, that about wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe to support my channel. Also, please share this video with others if you found it helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.